Hey guys, hold on. Alright, so today I'm going to go back over on how to make the salt dough so that we can make our sugar skulls. And we'll do the whole process. But first, what you're going to need is you are going to need a mixing bowl, dry. Then you'll need a smaller bowl to put your water in, salt, flour, a 1/2 cup measuring, and a 1/4 cup measuring, a spoon to stir, and of course some water. First, what we need to do is you are going to pour a 1/4 cup of water into your bowl. Alright, so you pour a 1/4 cup of water into your bowl, and then you're going, either you can get hot water from the tap. I don't have a sink in here, so that is not an option for me. So what I'm going to do is put mine in the microwave real quick to warm up, and I will be right back to tell us the next step. Alright, while my water is warming up, now what you need to do is take the 1/2 cup. You want to take your 1/2 cup, you want to fill it up with flour, rake off the excess of the top, pour it into your bowl. Remember, this is a separate bowl from the bowl with your water. Alright, now you're going to take a 1/4 cup and you're going to fill it with salt. Alright, pour your salt and your flour into the bowl. And now I want you to mix those up. I want you to combine that salt and that flour. Alright. Once it's good and mixed, alright, I'm going to switch cameras now. Oh, there's my water. It should be warmed up, so I'm going to switch cameras. Alright, there's my salt and flour mixture. Now, what I'm going to do is my warm water, I'm going to slowly add some of it to it. You don't want to add the whole thing at once because it may be too much water. Alright, see how it's starting to clump up? So I need to add a little more. There we go. And now I'm going to mix that in well. See how it's starting to kind of form a dough? If you've ever made pizza dough or maybe made biscuits, how about some cookies? Alright, see how though it's still clumpy a little? So why don't we add just a tad? Not too much. Think that, I might have added just a little bit too much water, but if I did, that's okay. I'm going to show you how to fix that. Alright. This is how you know if you've added too much water. If your dough is runny, or you see how that's real sticky kind of, like it doesn't look like dough at all really, it's clumpy. So what we're going to do is you're going to take some flour, and I'd get just like a pinch, and kind of add a little bit of flour in, not a whole lot. Maybe just a pinch or so of salt. Just a little bit, just a itty bitty bit. Now let's mix in that flour and that salt. And now do you see how it starts to form a dough? That's what we're wanting here. Yeah, that's looking good. Alright, now, obviously my dough is still a little sticky, so what I want to do is I'm going to take a little bit of flour and I'm going to put it on my hands, not a whole lot, just a little. And now I'm going to pick up my dough, and see, me putting that flour on my hands is going to keep my dough from sticking to my hands. And as I press that flour, see, into the dough, see how it becomes? And now we have what appears as pizza dough. Alright. I advise you, I do not have one because I'm in my classroom, but Here, I'll switch cameras real quick so you can see my face while I talk. Alright, so I advise you, once you've got your ball of dough, go to your cabinet and get a baking sheet. Do you know what a thin baking sheet is? You usually bake cookies on it. I don't have one because, like I said, I'm in the classroom. I don't have an oven in here, and I didn't think to bring one from home. So get a baking sheet, and then that way you can work on the baking sheet because we're actually going to bake this salt dough when we're said and done. Alright, so pause. Go run and get a baking sheet. If you have parchment paper, not wax, but parchment paper, I would get some of that and lay that on your baking sheet too. It'll help from sticking. If you don't, that's fine. You're just going to sprinkle a layer of flour, and I'm going to show you. So, pause. Go get your baking sheet. All right, now, on your baking sheet, pretend I have a baking sheet here. So, you're going to take some flour and just sprinkle the flour on your surface. So take a little bit of flour, sprinkle it onto your surface so that it won't stick. Now, your dough should be, take a piece of your dough, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Take about just a little bit of your dough, set that out to the side. We're going to do something with that later. Now, take the remainder of your dough in a ball. Now, I want you to press with the heel of your hand, press that ball down. Now, with the sides of your hand, start to shape that. So the bottom should come down and the top. All right. Now, if your dough starts to crack or get dry, take just a little bit of water and put a little on it. Not much at all, because you don't want it to get sticky again. All right, now you should start to develop the shape of a skull. See how that kind of looks like the outline of a skull? I'm going to come down. So now let's make it look like a skull. First, let's do our eyes. So just using your fingers, you're kind of going to make those eye sockets. All right. Now, I would get, if you have a paper clip, this is actually the most useful tool you could find. If not, get a little plastic knife, maybe the end of a paintbrush, just something that's small. Because now what we're going to do is you're going to stick it in the dough, and I'm going to kind of just make the little top of a triangle and push the dough away, and now I have my nose. See? Easy peasy. Okay? Now, to make a mouth, I want to just press a line into the dough, and now I'm going to come up and press a line over here to create kind of the jawbone. Yeah. Now, if you have a paper clip, you can use the quick way and just put the curved end down to create teeth. If not, then just draw teeth best you can. Alright, so now you have a basic sugar skull. The last thing you're going to do for this project is you need to add some kind of embellishment. Whether that be a flower, or a hat, or a bow tie, or a mustache, or a heart, whatever it is, you just need to add one embellishment. I think for my embellishment, what do I want to add? I think I'm going to try to make a flower. So to make a flower, I'm just going to kind of spread my dough out, and then I'm just going to start to kind of roll it a little. And as I roll, I'm going to pinch it to kind of come up and create a flower-like petals. There we go. Simple, simple. Now I'm going to cut and pinch off this excess. Now to stick it onto my sugar skull, get a little bit, just a little bit of water, put it down, and then press it on there, and ta-da! you have a sugar skull. So remember, you need to add one embellishment, whether it be a rose, a hat, another flower, a mustache, something, just one embellishment. Remember, if you have any questions or problems, email me, message me on Canvas. Next class period, we are going to paint these or add colors to these. So make sure you either have some type of paint available or you have markers or something that you can draw. And I got ahead of myself. In order to be able to color, the last thing is you need to put this in the oven on 250, anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, just until it is dry. So put it in the oven on low for 250 for an hour to 2 hours, and then you've got your sugar skull. All right, like I said, if you have any questions, email me. Message me in Canvas. Just be ready to go. Next class period. See you then.